Hey, this a bit.
Yo, what's good, everybody? It's another wonderful episode of the weekly run MLB Weekly Rundown with Nate the Great, yo, over here on the Virtual Man Cave channel, yo. What's going on, Nate, man? How you feeling, my good brother?
Man, I'm chilling. How you doing?
Man, I can't complain, man. Another wonderful day. I had a beautiful week. As you can see, ladies and gentlemen, it seems like Nate and I, mostly me, made executive decision. We switched it from Thursdays to Fridays. It seems like Fridays works best for us. Um, so yeah. So Nate, how do you feel about we switching from Thursday to Friday, yo?
I mean, we make the adjustments how you do. We had a reasons for making the changes, so you make sure certain days work for everyone. Just like we did the regular show, and Saturdays work better for everybody than Fridays. So.
Right. And the regular show that Nate is talking about is the Virtual Man Cave podcast, which consists of the whole crew, not only Model Citizen J, which is me, myself, he is I is him. You know what I'm saying? My good brother MLB Nate the Great right there next to me. But we also have superhero Leo. We got D Rigger, aka Unc. We got the chef Troy. We got the Panamanian professor, the physician, the workout guru, Arthur Sobers. And we get the mayor who taps in every once in a while, Corey, from time to time, yo. That show is aired tomorrow night, every Saturday at around the same time. We try to get on at 10, but it's usually about 10:30, 11 o'clock. Tap in, tune in. It's a wonderful show. We also have D Rigger Presents Moments with Unc every Monday at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time, man. He's the OG of the crew. He breaks down, his perspective on life, and we have a wonderful time. And we have the inaugural first show this Tuesday coming up of Arthur Sober's Basement Workouts, aka the Health and Wellness Podcast and Show, for everybody. Now that we got the bills out the way and we paid, we did what we do. Nate, man, how's it
You
been this
forgot
week?
something.
What I
You forgot
forget?
something.
What I forget? Talk to me.
Your disclaimer.
Oh, disclaimer, yo. The views and opinions expressed on this platform are those solely based upon the individual who has said them. Okay, they do not represent any entities other than that. Okay. Um, so again, this is the Virtual Man Cave. We speak freely, we speak for ourselves. If you get offended easily, this may not be the show for you, but this isn't, too graphic. But again, don't take it personally, y'all. It's just comedy, man. We ain't making fun of we ain't really disrespecting nobody. We just cracking jokes. Thank you for that, Nate. Sometimes I'll be forgetting. Oh, one more thing. Tonight's episode is not sponsored by anybody, but one day we will be sponsored by Mountain Dew. The Green Machine. Gotta let it do what it do, baby. Woo! Yo, Nate, that's gonna be our commercial. That's gonna be the commercial, yo. You ready?
If
We
we
like
know if we no longer have a show, that means we've been sued by Mountain Dew.
Mountain Dew ain't gonna sue us. They gonna be like, yo,
Or
I like Model Citizen J. I like his vibe, yo. I like MLB with Nate the Great, yo. They show their platform is dope. Yo, they is doing what the dude does, yo. So we gotta sponsor them. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna see a Mountain Dew Model Citizen J hat, yo. I'm speaking into an existence. Shoot. But what's been going on in baseball this week, Nate?
with baseball, we've had baseball returned last week from a hiatus a hiatus. Of course they had their All-Star break, so a lot of games just started back up last weekend, starting at Thursday, Friday. We had a good couple games during that week. Couple moves been made. A couple moves have been made. Trades have been made as we get it close to the trade deadline, which is July 31st. There's also been some people that's been designated for assignment, which a lot of times they're getting released. But there's been some moves in it, man, and we're looking forward to the upcoming week that's coming along as we get towards the trading deadline to see what teams are starting to make those final moves to add that one or last piece, to make that playoff run as we're starting to get it down to the nitty gritty of the MLB season.
Okay. Well, as the caption says right there, this is about to be the recap of last week's games. It's only right here. We got the first video that we're gonna share via Instagram. Give me one moment, everybody, while I pull it up. That was kind of quick, y'all. Y'all seen that? It's kind of smooth, so I'm getting better at this, Nate. You see me, son. You see me. Right here is the show lives on. Obviously, something's going on with my Mets, yo. So you know what? Let's watch this video and see what's happening. Make sure we got some sound while I.
Well, this is more along with the umpires and their umpiring. You got the sound, Jay?
Oh.
Not even close. Real 3-2. Now the runners will go. And it's ball by Carter. Strike. That's ridiculous.
Three strikes were in the same spot.
Ray Montgomery, the interim manager of the Angels, has been ejected. He was barking from the first call, and by the time the third one came along, he had enough.
I like that.
Hey, Ray Montgomery's right.
A fielder's choices last time.
To see the game, just in case people, I was going to say the CD in case people didn't see the first two, but basically it was the same pitch 3 times in the same exact location, which was outside, And it's more or less, the umpires this year they've had some really bad calls, and that there is no great place for that. That was definitely all 3 pitches were balls. That should have been a 3-0 count. I don't know. I know the umpires are human, and mistakes happen, but in this case, I think this is another example that's leading closer to those challenges of cut balls and strikes as we saw during the All-Star game last week. Which I know in the minor leagues they have been doing. They have been testing with it a little bit and playing with it to see how it goes.
So let me ask you this, Nate. Do you think in a situation like this, if we had some type of AI component to help umpires out in situations like this, it would be beneficial?
It could be because they're talking about using the robots. The thing about it, you're still going to have it. What it'll do, unfortunately, is if you go with this route. You never want to see anybody lose their job. You will probably see the umpire staffing being chopped in half. Possibly.
But what I'm saying is not necessarily cutting the umpires, but incorporating AI with the umpires that we have now. Like keep the umpires we have now, but then they have a computerized system to help them out in situations like this, to where, okay, cool, I made a mistake. Bet we can, what I'm saying, we can analyze it, fix it, however way the rules will allow it for it to be done. But do you think, again, back to my original comment, do you think an AI component would be beneficial in a play like this, so to speak?
Definitely would if you could be able to challenge it, because that was blatantly a ball where that made the difference in the game when the game was on the line. As you see, it was bases loaded with the game on the line, and you basically took the bat out of the batter's hand. You took the situation out of the batter's hands. But I play devil's advocate for the actual batter themselves. When you see how the umpire is calling it, you got to now protect yourself at the plate. You see, he threw two pitches outside that we called both for strikes, and they was far out. You just got to swing just to protect yourself and allow yourself a chance to get back into the at bat.
Okay. Well, hey, man, that's why you are MLB Nate the Great, yo. You know what I'm saying? You let us know situations like this. But coming up, we got another video, as far as the recap. Don't call me biased, y'all. This is just the way the video's lined up tonight, okay?
Please welcome
No.
Oh, we're not sharing that.
That's supposed to be for the That's supposed to be for the news.
That's for the news? Oh, okay. My bad. Let me remove that. I ain't know it was for the news. I thought it was for the recap. You know, I got excited when I see the Mets.
You know what? I ain't gonna mess your flow. Let's just keep it in there.
You gonna let it ride? You gonna let it ride? That's what I'm talking about.
Let it roll.
This is why you is Nate the Great, yo. We're gonna start that over, y'all. You know, but you see that right there. Nothing but love for David Wright.
Please welcome the captain, number 5, David Wright.
Man, that was amazing. That was beautiful right there.
So that was David Wright, long time Met, lifetime Met. You could say he played his entire career with the Met, 7-time All-Star, two-time Gold Glove, and a 2-time Silver Slugger. We talked about him last week. Being enshrined into the Mets Hall of Fame, which is well deserved. He was one of the standouts for the Mets from the time he joined the team in 2004 until his last game in 2018. He only played 2 games in that 2018, but 2016 was his last season. It was a short season for him, but he's been one of the beloved Mets, of course, over the years. He's had some great plays, of course. That the one-handed catch that he made barehanded will always go down as one of his greatest plays. Definitely, what the Mets did right by him, well deserved over the years. He ended his career with the Mets with 242 home runs, 170 RBIs, 296 batting average, with an OPS of 867. And I think it was a great moment for him, joining that Mets Hall of Fame class that he's enshrined in now. He hasn't been selected to the Hall of Fame yet. Whether he makes it there or not remains to be seen. But he will be up for a ballot going forward. So we'll see if he'll maybe make the Hall of Fame, the actual MLB Hall of Fame in Cooperstown. But he's still a monumental feat to make it as the Mets Hall of Fame with all those great Mets that have played over the years, from the Tom Seavers to the Doc Goodens and Dow Strawberries of the years and Keith Hernandez. So much congratulations to David Wright.
Hey, man, I'm gonna keep it classy. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Wright. Shout out to Citi Field. Shout out to the Mets. Shout out to Flushing. Let's go home team. This next video right here, man, feels like it's gonna be a funny one. Let's talk about it, Nate.
Hitter as well, so he handles them both.
There's just some fun with Vlad Guerrero Jr. having some fun out there in the dugout. I mean, when you're in the dugout for an entire game, you find yourself doing things like that. Whether you're just eating sunflower seeds, old school guys used to chew tobacco, or one of your teammates are having some together. Especially when you're not up to hit, or if you're not playing that day, keep yourself out. Yes, you are watching the game, but it's a long day. It's a long day when you're not actually playing, so you try to keep yourself busy a little bit, with some entertainment.
Listen, speaking of entertainment, I know the fans were entertained when they saw this one right here. Because I know when I saw the video and I saw the clip, I was like, oh, okay.
And the 2-2 pitch to Jones, and Drew swings and drives one toward the alley in deep right center field. Back goes School over his head, climbs off the fence, and it's away from him. He's chasing it down. Jones heading for third. Here he comes, waved home by Reed, and he scores with a head-first dive. Inside the park home run for Drew Jones.
That man he had a big boy breakfast right there.
That was an inside the park homer by Drew Jones. If that name sounds familiar, because he is the son of a former Atlanta Brave great Andrew Jones. Drew Jones plays for the Diamondbacks minor league team, the Hillsboro Hops out in Oregon. And he's definitely looked at. Hopefully we're looking at him as possibly being called up by the Diamondbacks. Maybe we still see within the next few years or so. But it was a great play overall. Inside the park home runs when they happen, they're fun and exciting to see. And the players once they get around home plate, they're always exhausted. Most of them are.
Listen, he didn't look exhausted. He looked like he was determined. He could be exhausted in the dugout.
See, he's still young. He's still young. So, once when you 32, 35 trying to hit an inside the park home run, it hit different.
I'm good with a triple. In my 30s, I'm good with a triple. We gonna stay at a triple, dog. You know what I'm saying? Somebody get this RBI. I'm looking out for my teammates. Let's get these stats. But now, respect to the young boy, because you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm gonna say? He trying to get to the bag. Get to the bag, young boy. Get to the bag. Hit another in the park home run. I hope they call you up. I hope you do your thing, and I hope, you know what I'm saying, you get some of that MLB money, yo. Let's see. We got another athletic video right here. That's an athleticism. My boy got 3 stolen bases in one night. That's crazy.
Is that Chandler Simpson of the Tampa Bay Rays, one of the young up and coming players for the future? Rays got them a nice young kid on their roster. So he's showing some productivity. He can only get better going forward. Guys like him and Ellie De La Cruz, who are just bolting in light speed, along with veterans like Trey Turner, who make it exciting. Keep pitchers on their toes, keep other teams on their toes. As far as with their base running, and he's actually got the record from us for the Tampa Bay Rays for most stolen bases.
Yeah. Nate, what was Wesley Snipes' name in Major League? What was his character's name in Major League?
They call him Willie. He called himself Willie Say Hayes or something like that.
Yeah, that's who he was. That's who that young boy was tonight, boy. He was trying to steal base. He must have watched Major League before he played the game. For real. When was the last time somebody stole 3 bases in one game? That's crazy. While you look that up, if you can find that out, I will show this unfortunate video of the other beloved team in New York. That's not the Mets.
So then,
nah, I said the other beloved team. That's not the Mets. Like I'm showing love, man. I'm trying to be good, Nate. I'm trying to be righteous, bro.
On a ground ball up the middle. Freed Fields comes home, and the ball gets away from Estrada. And 2 runs will score. Line drive caught by Chisholm. And the throw gets away from Rice. And that allows Guerrero to move to second. A very sloppy inning for the New York Yankees. And off the glove of Rice, he scrambles after it. It's a base hit, a run scores. And it's 6-4 Toronto. Guerrero rips one in the left center field. It's a base hit, and it gets by Dominguez. Guerrero's going for 2. The throw is not in time. It gets away from Chisholm, but he scrambles after it, and Guerrero will stay put.
Yeah, it was a brutal game against the the Toronto Blue Jays.
Nah, somebody told the Yankees they got to lose this game because somebody made the major bet. They got to be investigated for gambling or something because, you know what I mean? Don't believe my allegations, y'all. Remember, this is just fun and comedy. I don't know nothing about baseball. I'm just saying, the Yankees don't do that, man. That's not Yankees baseball. I'm not even a Yankee fan. Let's be real. Y'all know how I feel about the Yankees. I'm not a Yankee fan whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? But even as a non-Yankee fan, that's not Yankee baseball, bro.
But it happens, though. It happens sometimes. Sometimes it's just Sometimes you just have a really bad day when nothing goes right, and those are some of the toughest game. Those are some of the toughest games to continue playing through as well. So it can happen where usually routine ground balls that normally you would field runners out, you're missing them, or you're overthrowing the first baseman or whoever you're throwing it to. You don't see the ball. You don't see the ball off the bat when you're in the outfield and the ball goes over your head. It happens sometimes. Unfortunately, I mean, it just one of the. Sometimes it happens. Every team goes to it at least have a day or two where that happens to them, and.
Well, Yankees from a non-Yankee fan, yo, please get it together. Let that be the last day y'all do that, because y'all do have NY on your jerseys, yo. You represent New York, yo. I don't root for y'all when y'all play against the Mets, but trust and believe, man, I want y'all to win everybody else, because New York, we're winners, yo. All right? So get it together, please.
And to answer your question, Kendall George, with a minor league team in the Loons, stole 3 bases on July 24th of this year. But most recently in the league, it was Ellie De La Cruz of the Cincinnati Reds who did it back on April 24th last year against the Milwaukee Brewers. It reminded me, I don't know how I didn't think of that game because I was watching it. He stole second, third, and home all in the same inning.
Whoa. So wait. So did he do it while he was already at second, then stole third, and then eventually stole home, or was it like he got on base twice or something like that?
No, because it happened in the same innings. He stole second,
right?
Then he stole third. What happened was between the catcher throwing the pitcher, he took off for home plate and he stole home.
Okay. All right, I respect that, son. Like anybody who steals home like that, like you're a real gangster. You a G. Like I ain't gonna front. If I was a pitcher and you stole home on me like that, I'm gonna hit you the next time you're up at bat. I mean, I'm not gonna hit you to hurt you, but I'm gonna hit you. I'm gonna tag you. I'm gonna tag you in your calf muscle. I ain't gonna hit you in your ankle.
As you can see, ladies and gentlemen, Jay will be getting thrown out the game, and he could possibly be fined. So he likes to spend his money and give it back to the league.
Give it back to the league because you know why? My team is gonna understand. Like, hey, I gotta get him, y'all. I gotta tag him. He stole home on me. It's all right. Matter of fact, I'm gonna have it situated to where we gonna have like a fine box, and we're just gonna make little donations to the fine box. So in case I'm the pitcher and you tell me, hey, you my shortstop, and you tell me, hey, bro, you gotta get number 52 for me. I got number 52. Don't worry. Just make sure you pay my fine. That's it. You know what I mean? I look out for my brodies. Again, don't take this personal, y'all. It's just comedy, y'all. I'm nonviolent. I ain't trying to hurt nobody.
Don't mind me if I'm turning back around. Somebody, I mean, I'm not knocking it because I used to be one of them people, but somebody out here basing outside in my complex.
For those who don't know, Nate is over there on the West Coast. You know what I mean? So when he says basing, he is talking about somebody's playing some loud music that has heavy bass to it and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? The trunk is knocking, the doors are swinging. You know what I mean? E40. You know what I'm saying?
I'm in the Midwest, man. Stop telling me I'm on the West Coast.
What part? Wait, what'd you say? You said West, right?
No, I'm not. I said Midwest, the middle. I'm in the middle, in the South, in the middle.
West, you in the West Coast? You ain't in I'm in the South. You in the West Coast?
I'm further south. I'm south than you are. What are you talking about?
No, you're on the West, though, right? You're West.
No, I'm heading in the West direction. I'm on Central Time. The Western Pacific Time. Arizona.
Nate,
Arizona, California, Nevada, Oregon, the state of Washington.
Nate is in the West Coast, y'all. So just throw your West side, throw your dubs up, Nate. I don't know why you fronting.
I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that at all.
West side. Shoot. Well, here goes the next video right here that we got for you guys, since Nate's denying that he lives on the West Coast.
Yeah, today was a little shaky. Really for me, it just kind of felt like that was the fly ball that I missed kind of started it all. So, we gotta play a little better, and I got confidence in this group of guys, and team over there it's a good team. They're playing good baseball, and ultimately, they're capitalizing on a lot of mistakes.
So as you see, that's Cody Bellinger explaining, which actually he felt started that whole chorus that happened out there with Bellinger. A play where, like we say, the ball got lost in the lights out there in Toronto. Didn't see the ball. He was running forward, meanwhile the ball was behind him, and that just started the trickle effect. I mean, the trickle down effect for the Yankees, and one of the worst games of the year that they played.
I can let that one slide. You know what I'm saying? As far as, because I know the ball gets into the lights, and you blinded. You can't really see. And it got behind you and whatnot. But yeah, man, I don't know. We gotta do better, Yankees. We gotta do better, yo. You know what I'm saying? Like that's all I'm gonna say. I ain't gonna dog y'all. I ain't gonna laugh and joke because it ain't funny, man. That was real. Like that made a non-Yankee fan feel bad. Like that's how real it was. Like if it was maybe like one play, if that was the only error, I'd be like, come on, man, Nate, how your man doing that? But all of that other extra stuff, son, that hurt my feelings. I'm so glad that the Mets honored David Wright. That's put a little sunshine in New York's sunrise.
Yeah, because the Yankees ended up losing today to Philly 11-5 in the opening game of this three-game series over here over the weekend.
Wow.
Mets are currently playing the San Francisco Giants right now. They're in the bottom of the second inning. Mets are up 2-1.
Let's go, Mets. Make New York proud, Joe. The Yankees right now, they need some encouragement. We're gonna support them, send them some love, and they're gonna get out this slump. But come on, Mets. Let's give New York something to cheer about.
Another bad thing about Fried left the game for the Yankees with some feeling in his elbow. So hopefully it's not nothing long term for that. So it'll be reevaluated, and we'll see how how that goes forward. And that may have to play a part in possibly picking up a pitcher or so, picking up another starting pitcher, which I'll talk about more when we get to the news section. So we'll see. We'll keep you updated on Max Fried's condition.
In the words of Coach Troy, they need to drink some school milk. You get some school milk, they be all right, and they don't get hurt. So who's probably was drinking some school milk? Right here, our homie in the next video right here.
Here's Harper. He sends one to right. That is absolutely mashed. Second deck. And the bright bonanza continues. 3-0 Phillies.
That was nasty right there. Fastball. He gets it. Does not miss it. Look, Bryce Harper right in the middle of it.
Yeah, my boy ripped that.
As Bryce Harper reaching 350 home runs here in his 14th year in the league, playing with the Philadelphia Phillies. Harper, I think before his time is up, he'll definitely reach 400. He's just come back off an injury. Since the games that he's been back so far, he's got 14 home runs so far this year. I think he'll surpass 400 even by the end of this year. I don't know. He's not going to do it this year. He's not going to hit 50 home runs within the rest of the season, but by next year, I think he should reach 400.
So how much you think he's going to end this year with? If you had to guesstimate.
Because he's a different hitter now as he's gotten older. He's only 32 years old. So in baseball, that's not as old as it seems like on other sports. When you're 32 years old, they say you're washed or you pretty much done. He's still got about 5 or 6 more years left as long as he stays healthy. I know he'll hit. I think he'll hit 25. I think he'll at least hit 25 between 25 before the season's over. Between 25 and 30.
You think he'll end the year with at least about 375?
Batting 375?
Not batting. No. 375 home runs.
Oh no, I think he'll hit another 11 to 10 to 15. So we're looking at about 365, maybe 370.
Okay, 370. Y'all heard it first. And the only reason why I asked Nate these questions is because Nate really does know about baseball, y'all. Like, I don't call him Nate the Great for no reason. Like, that's not a moniker that we just say because it sounds good. You know what I mean? He really do know what he's talking about when it comes to baseball. So I'm just gonna pay attention to see how accurate Nate is because my homie be on point. So if you think Nate is right, if you're watching this right now, if you think he's wrong, we're gonna place a little wager, right? If Nate is wrong, right, and you remember this episode, you comment, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell on the YouTube channel, we will send you a virtual man cave hat. Okay, but if 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 Nate is right and correct, and you go against and you bet against him, we invite you to be a guest on our show, and you have to say, "Yo, Nate, you the man, yo. This is why we call you Nate the Great." So if you're down with that, yo, just make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. When you leave a comment, let us know if you think Nate is gonna be right or wrong. Nate, you cool with
As we,
that?
as we always say, we appreciate, all comments made by those and by the individuals themselves, and does not represent everyone else. You know,
Oh,
it's,
Nate.
it's an estimated guess that I'm making. That he made because he's starting. I think he's hitting his stride, but I don't. Maybe he'll get to 365, maybe 370. The way he's been, Bryce is a smart hitter. So he's all about getting on base. He's got it. I mean, because they're just as powerful as the Dodgers. Might be a little bit slower this year, but like Nick Castellanos, you got Trey Turner, you got Kyle Schwarber, you got you got Brandon Marsh. They got a nice little team out there. So Harper doesn't have to be the main guy to supply all the offense like he used to, especially back in his days when he was with the Nationals. So we'll see. But we're not gonna force you to come on have to be on the show. But we would like if you join the show though. So do like and subscribe and join in with us.
Now, we ain't gonna force you, but if you wrong, you made this deal and you made the bet, then just come on the show and say, "Hey, Nate, you was right. Kick it with us, crack some jokes with us, talk about baseball, and life would be good. Tell me who your favorite team is so I can heckle you. You know who my favorite team is, and that's why we're amazing. But yeah, here comes the next video.
Here comes Harper. He's going to try to steal home the throw, and he is.
The ruling on the field is correct. The runner from third will score. The runner from second is awarded third, and the batter is awarded first base.
Yes, there you go. Our second straight night where there's a catcher's interference that produces a Phillies run, although, as we've shown you.
So explain that to me, Nate. How is that a catcher's interference and stuff? Like, what the catcher do wrong?
They were trying to do the catcher's interference of where the catcher was standing at. He's blocking the path of the runner from being able to, get their foot into the bag, but he was going to be safe anyway. Trey Turner, one of the fastest guys out there on the field, with probably the best, in my opinion, and a lot of people always say a lot of people say it out there, the smoothest slide in the game. He was going to beat that out by he was going to beat that play out regardless. But they're trying to say that he blocked plate from where, giving Trey a space to be able to try to get his foot in. Right. I didn't really see it that much, but
it looked. If anything, it looked like he opened himself up. It didn't like he closed off the plate.
Yeah, because when it's in real time as a catcher, you're trying to make sure you catch the ball so you can give yourself a chance to be able to make the tag, but you also know that you have to try to leave space for that runner to be able to get to the base. I ain't really interference there, but they wanted to call it that way, but he would have been safe regardless. So
now, is that a fairly new rule or something like that? Because I remember back in the day growing up personally, and I see somebody trying to steal home plate. The catcher used to be on the side, like on the third base line, pretty much, and you had to truck him to pretty much to get on base if he was going to score. So, is that interference rule a new rule or something?
No, them days are gone. Since I think I talked about it on one of our old shows, or earlier shows, when Buster Posey was the San Francisco Giants, who's currently up in the vice president GM of the now. He there was a play at the plate against the Marlins, and he was if I remember correctly, it was the Marlins, but he was run over, caused a concussion. So now they started to take more safety protocols in protecting the catcher as well. Even though the catcher has all the equipment on, it's guys that's running at him that are solid. Some guys are out there 6'4", 285, barreling down at full speed.
Listen,
and you're not able to brace yourself completely sometimes because you're waiting on to be on.
You're trying to catch the ball. You're getting blindsided sometimes.
Yeah, so they made it where to keep from that happening and collisions, more collisions happening. They've made it where you have to have a path, and so you can't block the path. And they do the same thing for the bases as well. Second base, third base, you can't block the path. So it's trying to avoid collisions. Even when you play, and it's been implemented in all leagues, like even in rec softball leagues that I've played in before in the past as well. The catcher has to as a catcher you have to put your foot to the outside. Like if you're taking a throw, you have to put your foot at a certain angle, but leave that base open. So and now in leagues now, I've seen it because I go watch games throughout the city. They have a home plate that's separated from the regular home plate that's part of the field. And what the umpire basically does now is they just look to see if that catches the ball before that person touches that home to decide whether they're out or safe.
I think that's a cool rule. I like that. That's safe for everybody.
Especially when we ain't getting paid to do it in the rec league.
Easier for the umpire, easier for the 9 to 5 weekend warrior who got to go to work on Monday. You know what I mean?
Right, you got to put in the FMLA. You coming in there in a wheelchair or in crutches, but talking about you got to take FMLA because for a while.
Listen, you got to go to work like you not hurt, then front like you got hurt at work, so you get workers' comp and go home.
Right, you got a swollen eye, you can't see. You work at a desk job where you got to type and your hands is bandaged up.
Yeah, word. Shoot. Let's see what we got going on over here for the next video.
And as Buxton is swinging a drive into left center field and deep. Back it goes. It is gone. Another leadoff home run. And a Southern California buck truck sighting here at Dodger Stadium. It is 1-0 Twins. All-star, and Byron wins that battle.
Yeah, he
Byron
crushed.
The Minnesota Twins all-star then home run off of Shohei Ohtani, and one of Shohei Ohtani starts. Shohei would, and that should be the next video. Shohei would come back though and show what he can do on that side of the field as well.
Superman hitting the ball in the air to center field. The starting pitcher, it's a monster home run. He is out of this world. Shohei Ohtani, one of a kind, all time. 35 for the year.
Okay. That was something serious.
That was his 35th home run. He now has 37 total for the season, currently right now. As the Dodgers did defeat the Boston Red Sox tonight too as well. Ohtani's still on. He's still on minute. I think he's still on innings restrictions as far as how long he'll pitch right now. He still may pitch no more than 1, maybe 2 innings, and then he's pulled. He's taken out of the game as he's still coming back from that injury that kept him from pitching all of last year.
The wall. Oh, had it in his glove.
Oh,
that's not a home run.
Then brings it back.
It's not a home run. It's in his glove. It comes out. It does not go over the fence, right on top of the fence and back in. No home run.
Ooh. So what is that? A triple or something? Like
no, that's as many bases as the runner got. I think he got, if I'm not mistaken, he got 2. He might have got two bases on that one, maybe 2 bases a double, because that was from Blake Perkins from the Milwaukee Brewers in the game against the Miami Marlins.
Slow. He only got 2.
Yeah.
He should have got 3.
That was a tough play. It reminded me of some of the other plays that we've seen over the earlier this year. You remember with the Athletics where you talking about, he didn't jump or whatever. You remember, and the ball went over the wall.
Yeah. See that one, at least he got full extension and he tried, Joe. He prevented a home run.
Yeah, in order for the home run to be a home run, it has to actually go over the wall to hit the top of that yellow pattern, which they usually determine what's a home run, but it came back, so it wasn't a home run.
Right. Nah, but he did an amazing play though. from keeping from being a home run at the very least, Joe. Great defensive pressure, great defensive stop, great good awareness.
And that breaking ball hit the other way for a base hit. Shana will be waved around third. Here comes Soto's throw to the plate. He's got a chance to get it, and he is out at the plate. A very aggressive send by Bo Porter, and Soto threw a one-hop strike to Alvarez and put the tag down on Shonawell for the second out.
That was crazy.
That was a great play by Juan Soto, who gets a lot of criticism sometimes for his outfield awareness, but the one thing that has never been denied about Soto is he has a cannon out there. He can throw. Sometimes as far as him knowing where the field is at or how to field certain pitches, fielding the ball sometimes, yeah, there's room there's something to be desired there. But when as far as him relaying and throwing the ball in, he's got one of the better arms out there.
That was crazy. That was definitely a gun.
It's going on the IL. Fly ball right field, well hit. O'Neill back, looking up. Goodbye. The Guardians are on the board on Stephen Kwan's 7th home run of the year.
Oh,
Kwan
my
with a
goodness.
low fly ball, and we are back to even at 3. His 2nd home run of the afternoon, and then 8 on the season. Look at him.
Oh, he hit him with the aura boat, little dude, Joe. I see that. You know what I'm saying? I see he trying to. Is it a contract year for him?
No.
Okay, I say he's trying to get to the bag.
Yeah, it's some guys on other teams that have been doing the aura thing too. You know, they keep up with today's what's trending today. That's Stephen Kwan from the Cleveland Guardians. You know, hitting 2 on his first multi-home run game of his career. That he hit. He can hit some home runs, but he's a great contact guy. He's in his he's only in his 4th year in the league, but he's averaging currently right now 287 with 8 home runs, 108 hits, 35 RBIs, and 11 stolen bases. He has an on-base percentage of 3.352, and he has an OPS of 762.
That's what's up. But yeah, that was pretty dope, man. We got a lot of dope games, man. Are there any other game that you wanted to talk about, recap from last week? Any other things that took place before we move ahead on to the news?
No, I'm not really. I don't think so.
Well, Nate, we appreciate the recap of last week's games and what was going on, keeping us up to date and knowledgeable about what's happening. But right now, we move on to one of the next best segments. You know what I'm saying? It's the MLB news and what's going on around the league, yo. Give me one moment while I pull up the first video. Let me make sure I got it right. Again, work with me, my people, Joe. We gonna get it together. Here we go, y'all.
Strike 3. Peraza did not like the call. He's down looking.
I don't blame him. That ball looked like it was up. Manny Gonzalez, we had our scanner report, more of a hitter's umpire than a pitcher's umpire. Aaron Boone not too happy.
Well, Aaron Boone did not like the call on Peraza, and you don't see this that often. Manny Gonzalez goes, "That's my bad." He knows he missed the call, and that completely disarms the team, right?
Yeah, what do you do if you're Aaron Boone? You say, okay, you're better than that. Stay on.
Yes, so that was again from Toronto and the Yankees. And you very rarely see, like they say, you very rarely, as Michael K was saying, you very rarely ever see, is the Yankees play-by-play. You hardly ever see an umpire admit that he was wrong during the game. Sometimes they'll admit it after the game, but he admitted that was because that pitch was high. For those who saw that pitch was high. So it's I'll give the credit for admitting that. Now that little calm, gesture and back and forth between them didn't last too long, as you'll see in the next clip Jay's gonna bring up.
I was just about to say, that was kind of honorable and noble of the umpire, to make that. But yeah, this next video is looking a little raunchy, y'all. They went from honorable respect to straight up we just enemies. I don't like you no more.
And that's it. He's heard enough. You think it was Blake thrown
I
out?
think it was Matt Blake.
And now Boone is thrown out. Out of Boone because of the strike zone number one, but you mentioned it, John. He can't be happy with the way his team is playing.
So obviously going back to give him a piece of his mind. And Matt Blake having a few words now for Gonzalez behind the plate.
Oh, they was really going back and forth with each other, huh? All right, y'all. See Nate the Great done disappeared on me and whatnot. Now he is out there. Excuse me, I was being so rude. I'm over here eating. Oh, okay. See, I thought you was out there in the West Coast and the earthquake and the storm was hitting you guys. So, I was gonna make a disclaimer for you.
Now we had a little bit of technical difficulty with the at the moment, so that's why I was like, oh, let me go off the camera real quick. So I apologize for that. But yeah, as you see, Aaron Boone eventually was thrown out of the game. By the same umpire who they were just at one moment having a casual conversation and respect moment, and that's how it can go in the baseball game, Boone is known to get thrown out of games, but I know he was re-signed for it, and it gave an extension after the Yankees made the World Series. But we're going to see how much of a leash the Steinbrenners, the organization is going to give him as far as him being a coach. I don't know if they're going to let this year go. I mean, I don't know if they'll make an irrational decision. No, not irrational, but if they'll decide after this season, depending on where the Yankees fall at, whether making the playoffs or how far in the playoffs they get, or if they happen to fall out of the playoffs, do you keep Boone? But from what I understand too, they did say when they re-signed him for the 3 years, he'll be here for the remainder of his contract. So, but I know it's getting a little dicey in up there in the Bronx right now.
I see. So, do you think when he does things like that, does that motivate his team? Is that a hinder to his team?
I think with in their case, it helps. I mean, you don't really need much motivation. A lot of those guys on the team, they self motivate them. Those guys are players. A lot of them, especially a lot of the veterans like Goldschmidt and Cody Bellinger, they've been around for a while. Judge too as well. They don't, but it's good to see coach, stick up for you. That's the one thing with players is they've seen your coach actually go out there and stick up for you, and speak his mind when something's wrong, and vouch for that player. So sometimes it helps, it'll get a team motivated and fired up. Then sometimes it doesn't, because sometimes the team they're playing is just that much better than them right now at the moment.
Got you. Well, Nate, man, this is the news segment of what's going on around the league, yo. As you've been talking about, the trade deadline's been coming up. So can you talk about the trades and stuff that's been happening around the league as I'll share the picture right here coming up?
Yeah, so we've had a couple trades going on. First, Ryan McMahon is reportedly, and it's been finalized yet, but it's been reportedly will be possibly traded to the New York Yankees. McMahon is a third baseman that currently plays for the Colorado Rockies, who is, known as the worst team in the league right now. Ryan McMahon has been is a good veteran presence. He's been in the league for 9 years. He's played his entire career in Colorado, going back to 2017. Right now for Colorado, he's got 16 home runs, batting .217 with an OPS of 717. Career-wise, he's hit over 140 home runs. He's batted career-wise .240, 452 RBI. So and the thing about it is he not only plays third, he plays second base and he plays first as well. I know for a lot of people may be wondering too. Some people may be and some not, but like wondering what makes him any different than say DJ LeMahieu, who the Yankees designated and was released a couple weeks back. When LeMahieu plays the same positions, but in LeMahieu they were paying over the $125 million contract. I think with the what happened the other night with the Yankees game against Toronto, it's a knee jerk move because I don't believe it's your defense that's the main problem. Yes, there's been some defensive lapses, but that's not the main reason why you're in trouble or you're having problems keeping a lead or having a lead and then losing it or just being outplayed. It's the pitching, and it always has been the pitching for the Yankees over the last few years. You lost Garrett Cole was already out for the season because of his injury, so he was already scrapped. Now you got Max Free going down. So now you're left with Carlos Rondon as your main starter, your main solid guy. And then you got Will Warren out there. You got Clark Schmidt out there. You wait for Luis Gill should be returning back soon. You got Marcus Stroman. But I think the Yankees need to go out there and look for another starting pitcher. One of those starting pitchers that we're talking about, Dylan Cease from the San Diego Padres, who the Padres are thinking about moving Cease. They are entertaining offers, and they said in return the Padres are looking for prospects back in return, not necessarily another big contract. Dylan Cease is one of the star batters out in the league. Right? He signed a 1-year deal with the Padres, $13 million for this season. He will be an unrestricted free agent after this season is over, so he can go possibly anywhere. Padres may be looking to move him so that they get something for it instead of just letting him walk for free. Cease has had a bit of a down season this year. He's 3 wins this year with 10 losses with a ERA, a bloated ERA of 4.59. He still has 144 strikeouts, over 113 innings pitched. This is a vast change from last season and the season before where he played a lot better. This is probably his worst season that he's had since his rookie year when he was 4-7 in 14 games. So I think he's a good option for the Yankees to look at. Reliever wise, the Yankees could go get David Bednar from the Pittsburgh Pirates, Ryan Helsley from St. Louis Cardinals. I want to give a shout out to Cliff Floyd of the MLB Network, former baseball player, also former Met at one time. Jay, he also mentioned for the Yankees maybe picking up Key Brian Hayes at third base, who was also the son of former Yankee player Charlie Hayes for that '96 championship team. So he would probably be a good fit, but I think overall the Yankees need to work on their pitching over more than any more defensive players. So that third base, you still got Oswaldo Peraza and Cabrera as well. Cabrera's out currently right now, but I don't think that's the issue.
Let my man Ryan leave Colorado, bro. I stop hating and let Ryan leave Colorado. Free my boy Ryan, son. He don't want to be on that losing team down there, yo. The worst team in the league right now. Shoot.
Other moves that was made was the Baltimore Orioles traded Gregory Soto, left-handed reliever, to the New York Mets. I think this is a good pickup for the Mets. It's a good pickup for Soto as well because he was a little inconsistent at times with the Orioles, but he was one of their better, more consistent relievers. This puts him in a situation to play for a team that has playoff hopes and is in a good position to make the playoffs. So it's a very good move for the Mets in their rotation. So I like this move for the Mets. We'll see how it pans out for them going forward.
Okay.
And we also had it should be I know it is Josh Naylor being traded from the Arizona Diamondbacks to the Seattle Mariners. Another great pickup for Seattle. I was kind of surprised to see Arizona make that move, but then I'm thinking that you keep that up there. I'll keep going after that.
Okay.
Naylor played, of course, with the Cleveland Guardians. Before that, along with his brother, who's still playing for Cleveland, and he ended up in Arizona. Naylor's a great left-handed pitcher, a guy who can come out there and he's got some power. Now he joins that lineup of Randy Rosarina, Julio Rodriguez. You have Kyle Rowley, of course, who was the home run derby champion and also league leader in the American League for the home runs for the Mariners. You also got Randy Canzoni out there, who's field. So I think that's a good fit. You know, Mariners are looking to add some more firepower as they try to make this run to win the American League West, which they're currently battling with their rivals, the Houston Astros.
Okay.
And as you see in the video Jay put up there, was Eric Fede, who's been designated by the St. Louis Cardinals. He's had a record of 3-10. He's an ERA of 5.22 for this year. St. Louis decided to part ways with him. He has spent 8 years in the league. Started his career out with the Washington Nationals back in 2017. Before he joined the White Sox, St. Louis Cardinals last year, coming over from the White Sox, and he over his last 5 games. excuse me for talking so fast. That's why I be fumbling the words sometimes. So I apologize. And over his last 5 games, you can see he was he had an earned run. He gave 26 runs over the last 5 games. So we'll see if he gets picked up by another team, maybe, or even another team who might decide to use him and put him in the bullpen.
Son look mad old though. How old is he, man?
Fetty, he's excuse me. He's young. I think he should be young, if I'm not mistaken. Oh,
he needs to share off that Burt Reynolds mustache, yo.
Oh, sorry, he's 32 years old. I mean, so he's a little bit up there in age. But that's been the thing these days. A lot of these young guys are throwing throwback beards.
Yeah, they need to throw them away.
And David Robertson, well-known relief pitcher, has been signed by the Philadelphia Phillies for the remainder of the season. Robertson was drafted by the New York Yankees in the 17th round during the 2006 amateur draft out of the University of Alabama. He has been in the league 16 years. He is 40 years old. Born on April the 9th. He's been around a couple teams. He's been with the Cubs. Most recently, he was with the Mets in 2023, the Miami Marlins 23, and then he was with the Texas Rangers in 2024. So he's getting another chance to be with a team that's going to be playoff contenders, which is the Philadelphia Phillies. So I think that's a solid pickup for the Phillies because Robertson is one of those guys, starting wise or even relief. He can give you a decent amount of innings. He can give you about he can give you a good 4 or 5 innings.
Okay, he a journeyman for real.
Yeah, he's been around for a while. After his first 6 years with the Yankees, he moved around a little bit.
Yeah, he was shaking and baking. Nah, that's what's up though, man. He about 40. So what? He coming up on retirement age for a pitcher?
No, because Rich Hill, who also signed, he's back in the league. He's 45 years old and is playing currently.
Okay.
He's in his 21st year in the league.
Okay, so he got some time to get a couple more checks, show. That's what's up.
Yeah, with baseball, you can pitch because even Jamie Moyer, who's a former player, well known, played with Seattle, played with the Philadelphia Phillies. He pitched into his mid 40s.
All right.
And I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, it was Julio Franco, may have been. I remember he used to play for the Mets. He was playing with the Mets in his 40s.
Oh wow. Okay. Much respect. I just want to, just checking to see, retirement age, because I know that shoulders start to hurt after a while. But what's going on with these gentlemen right here? My man Dave Parker, yo.
Oh, so these are the we have of course the 2025 Hall of Fame, which is coming up on the 27th, this Sunday. You have 5 inductees into the Hall of Fame. Of course, Dave Parker, who I did cover recently, a few weeks ago, when he unfortunately his untimely passing, right before he got a chance to actually get into the Hall of Fame. So this would be post his life, but well deserved, coming out of Grenada, Mississippi. He passed away on June 28th of this year in Cincinnati, Ohio. He was a Hall of Famer, 7-time All-Star, home run derby champ, a 2-time World Series champ, 3-time Gold Glove, 2-time batting title, 3-time Silver Slug, and the All-Star MVP as well.
Oh, Okay, so son was nice with it.
Oh yeah, Dave Park was one of those from back in the days in the back in the 70s. As great player, also known for playing with that Pittsburgh Pirates team that was a championship team during that time, and being with the Reds. So shout out to him.
And then who we got, Mr. Pause, Dick Allen.
You just had to go there with
I'm just saying that's his name. I'm still. This is the man cave. I'm always gonna say pause when it's something suspect.
So our next entry is Dick Allen. Pause. Who's also going into the Hall of Fame from under the Cincinnati Reds. I'm trying to read his stats. Unfortunately, like I said, sorry for the technical difficulties that got going on over here on this side of town. Name actually was Richard Anthony Allen. So sometimes people when they say their name's Richard or whatever, Rich, they call him Dick for short.
I don't know. I don't know who came up with that. That ain't cool at all.
He was born on March 8th, 1942 from Wampum, Pennsylvania, and he passed away in December 7, 2020 in his hometown of Wampum, Pennsylvania. He used to begin his career September 3rd for the Philadelphia Phillies in 1963. His last appearance was in 1977, June 19th for the Oakland Athletics. For his career, he had a batting average of 292, 351 home runs, and 1,119 RBIs. Career stats, career highlights and awards. He was a 7-time All-Star, American League MVP in 1972, National League Rookie of the Year in 1964. He was a 2-time American League home run leader in 72 and 74, American League RBI leader in 72 as well. His number was retired by the Philadelphia Phillies, number 15, and he's also in the Philadelphia Phillies Wall of Fame. He received over 81.3% of his votes being inducted into the Hall of Fame. So congratulations to Richard Allen on his induction into the Hall of Fame.
Word, man. That's what's up, man. So,
who you got next?
I'm trying to see who else is.
It's a couple more. It's 3 more people that's going into the Hall of Fame.
Okay. Yeah. Hold on. Give me 1 second. I didn't know you had more. My apologies.
That's cool. I could go on. I think it's.
Nah, I'm gonna bring them up right now. I didn't see the other 2 when I was looking in the file. Your man Ichiro Suzuki.
So Ichiro Suzuki.
My bad.
One of the most beloved players in baseball history. Who came from Japan? He was actually the first position player that was signed to. He was the first position player to sign in the major leagues. He joined the major leagues in April 2nd of 2001 for the Seattle Mariners, and his last game was March 21st, 2019 for the Seattle Mariners. He did spend a little bit of time with the Miami Marlins and the New York Yankees, and he came back and finished out his last year with the Seattle Mariners. He also played professionally in Japan for the Oryx Blue Wave, which is his initial start in July of 1992, and his final appearance was October 13th of 2000 with the same team. Ichiro is 51 years old, born October 22nd of 1973.
Hold up, what day is he born? October 22nd?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my birthday.
Nice. See, so you see, there you go. You share it with a Hall of Famer.
No, he shares it with me. I don't share nothing.
How old are you again?
Doesn't matter. It's still my day, yo.
Ichiro.
He has the honor of sharing his birthday with me.
Ichiro was born in Nishikasugawa, Aichi, Japan, and his stats show as a 7-time All-Star. He was a Japan World Series champion in 1996. He's a 3-time Pacific League MVP from 94 to 96. He's a 7-time Gold Glove from 94 to 2000, 7-time Best 9 Award 94 to 2000. These are all in Japan. Two-time Masatoro Shiroki Cherokee, sorry if I pronounced that wrong, award in 94, 95. He was also a 7-time Pacific League batting champion. He was a Pacific League RBI leader in 95, stolen bases in 95, and he's in the Japanese Hall of Fame. Now, his MLB award stands as 10-time All-Star, American League MVP in 2001, Rookie of the Year in 2001 as well, a 10-time Gold Glove, 3-time Silver Slug Award winner, a 2-time American League batting champion, an American League stolen base leader in 2001. He has the MLB record for 262 hits in a single season that still holds to this day. He's also in the Seattle Mariners Hall of Fame. He will go in actually as he also won the World Baseball Classic in 2006 and in 2009. He will go in when he's representing Japan. He will go in with the number 51, which is also worn by Randy Johnson, who also famously wore that number 51 in Seattle.
Okay.
So congratulations, Ichiro.
Congratulations. He spent most of his time with Seattle.
Yeah, in the league, in the major leagues, he spent the majority of his career with the Seattle Mariners. He spent 11 years with them. Then with the Yankees, he spent 2 years. 2 years with them. And he came back to finish out his career with the Seattle Mariners for 1 year.
This is kind of hard because his birth, he's 1022, so he shares the birthday with me. So I feel like I have to get his jersey, but I can't wear a Yankee jersey, so I guess I have to get a
So you go find the Seattle jersey because he's going in as a Seattle Mariner.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a Seattle jersey. You know what I'm saying? Because I definitely can't wear no Yankee jersey. Like, I'm allergic to it. There's something about the material makes me itch.
You being allergic to winning?
Nah, allergic to that dirtiness in the Bronx, yo. The Bronx is kind of dirty, yo. Hold on.
Just for the disclaimer out there, the Bronx slander is coming from someone from Queens. I'm from Brooklyn.
And so therefore we both know better. The Bronx is dirty. Like, it is what it is, man. I love New York. Yeah, we're former New Yorkers. We could talk about it.
Next we have CC Sabathia, who is going in the Hall of Fame from Vallejo, California. Born July 21st, 1980. He started his MLB debut with the then Cleveland Indians in April 8th of 2001. Played his final game September 24th of 2019 with the New York Yankees. Sabathia had a win-loss record of 251 wins and 161 losses. He had an ERA career of 374. He had 3,093 strikeouts. He played 7 years with Cleveland before going to Milwaukee for 1 year when he was traded to Milwaukee from Cleveland. And then he played 10 years with the New York Yankees, where he was part of that New York Yankees World Series championship team in 2009, which happened to be the Yankees' last World Series championship. He's a 6-time All-Star, American League Cy Young Award winner in 2007. He also was the American League Championship Series MVP in 2009, a 2-time MLB wins leader in 2009 and 10 back-to-back years. He still was also he was a beloved player in Cleveland as well, and Cleveland inducted him into their Hall of Fame as well.
When did he retire?
2019.
Okay. All right. It didn't take him that long to induct him to the Hall of Fame, but still seems like it was long enough.
Yeah, he was first battle. So then next we have congratulations to CC Sabathia. And next and lastly we have Billy Wagner, who from Marion, Virginia, born in Marion, Virginia. He began his career September 13th, 1995 for the Houston Astros. He played his last game October 3rd, 2010 for the Atlanta Braves. He had a win-loss record of 47-40, an earned run average of 231, 1,196 strikeouts. He was mainly known especially for being a great closer. He was up there with the Mariano Rivera's and the Mariano Rivera's and Trevor Hoffman's of the world at that time, as they were some of the top closers at that time. He had 422 saves. He spent 8 years with Houston from 95 to 03. Then he spent the year with Philadelphia. He spent the year with the Philadelphia Phillies. He was with the Mets for 3 years from 2006 to 2009. He was with the Red Sox in 2009, and then he spent his last year with the Atlanta Braves. He is a seven-time All-Star. He was the National League Rolaids Relief Man Award in 1999. He pitched a combined no-hitter in June 11th of 2003, and he is a part of the Houston Astros Hall of Fame. He was on the Astros team that did make the World Series in 2005, but lost. No, he wasn't on the Astros team that made the World Series in 2005. Sorry about that. Unfortunately, he wasn't part of that team. But congratulations to Billy Wagner. He was well deserving of it. For the All-Star, I will speak on the Hall of Famers real quick. Those who weren't picked: Andrew Jones and Carlos Beltran. Andrew Jones in his 8th year, he didn't get enough votes. Carlos Beltran being in his 3rd year. Those who missed out on getting votes was first-time ballot Felix Hernandez, who I think will eventually get there, and Chase Utley, who's in his 3rd year. And new first ballot Hall of Famers are Ian Kinsler, Curtis Granderson, Troy Tulowitzki, Hanley Ramirez, and Ben Zobrist. So again, look for the Hall of Fame, which will be in Cooperstown, New York, this weekend, Sunday, July 27th.
All right, yo, listen, man. Shout out to all the people who got inducted to the Hall of Fame. And Billy Wagner, when did he get drafted? When did he stop playing? When did he retire?
2010.
2010. What took the MLB this long to put him in the Hall of Fame?
He actually almost missed it. He
Are
just
you
had enough. Yeah, he just had enough votes to make it. This year.
Wow, son.
Because I think, if I'm not mistaken, he was approaching. He might have been approaching where he would fall off of the ballot.
That ain't even cool. MLB
like a lot of sports have that where people fall off the ballot after a certain amount of years. Never been a big fan of that. I think you should eventually make it one day or another. I don't think you should ever fall off, but they have voters and everybody who deals with that kind of stuff. So it's an unfortunate situation because some guys who belong in the Hall of Fame never do. But I think
Pete Rose.
Yeah. And unfortunately, he'll finally probably get it now. And unfortunately, we lost Pete Rose earlier this year. And it's unfortunate because, well, at least, if they at least are able to get the Hall of Fame and be recognized by, a team that they played for a certain amount of years, it's not the Hall of Fame, but at least it's some recognition that somebody says, hey, you're good enough to be a part. Just like we saw with David Wright earlier in the show.
What you did. We seen what you did for the league, but also more importantly for the organization, and we're gonna show you some love.
Right.
Well,
his nickname was Hot Rod.
Hey, see, this is why he needs to be in the Hall of Fame. Come on, Cooperstown, open them doors for the brother. And maybe one day, in this next segment, the play that you see in this segment right here in Shining Stars, you might see them in the Hall of Fame because they're doing something wonderful. Let me pull up these 2 pictures right here that Nate got for us. Give me one moment, y'all.
So for our Shining Stars this week, we're going to, as we almost finish rounding out the remaining positions, we're going with the second baseman, my favorite position. First position I ever played when I was young as a kid. And for the first we'll start with
outfield, Nate. You'll be switching stuff up, yo.
Don't mind the banter by Jay. He has to just find a reason to try to say something. He's one of the people that just want to start and instigate stuff just because.
That's what makes baseball fun.
So we have Brendan Donovan, second baseman of the St. Louis Cardinals currently. Donovan was born on January 16, 1997, in Würzburg, Germany. He began his career. He had his MLB debut April 25th of 2002 with the St. Louis Cardinals. Current stats are he's batting .284, 38 home runs in his career with 191 runs batted in. With the St. Louis Cardinals, he's been with the St. Louis Cardinals his entire career. Currently, right now, this season, right now, he's batting with 9 home runs and a batting average of .296, 110 hits, with an OPS of 796, 42 RBIs in 372 at bats. He started his amateur career. He played in Enterprise High School in Enterprise, Alabama, where he was raised at. He then attended the University of South Alabama for college and played for the South Alabama Jaguars. Then he played his collegiate summer ball with the Hyannis Harbor Hawks of the Cape Cod baseball league. Excuse me. And in his junior year, he batted .302 with 5 home runs and 57 games. St. Louis did draft him in the 7th round of the 2018 draft, and he signed with them and made his professional debut with the State College Spikes of the Class A for St. Louis. So that's our shining star for the National League. Moving on to the American League. Our American League shining star second baseman is Gleyber Torres of the Detroit Tigers, the first place Detroit Tigers.
That's a wild name, yo.
What, the first name?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Gleyber Torres is from Caracas, Venezuela, born December 13th, 1996. Excuse me. He's his current stats are he's batting 9 home runs, 280 as a batting average, 45 RBIs with OPS of 799 to 325 at bats. He has 91 hits. He has a career total of 147 home runs. Average right now is 267. He has 57 stolen bases over his career currently right now. Torres started his career out. He was drafted April 22nd, 2018 with the New York Yankees. He spent 6 years with the Yankees. It was a 3-time All-Star. 2 of those years with the Yankees in 2018 and 2019, and he became an All-Star this year again as well with the Detroit Tigers. He originally had signed with the Chicago Cubs as an international free agent in 2013 for $1.7 million signing bonus. And then he was with the Arizona Cubs rookie level but then he was promoted up to the lower A Northwest League. But then he made his debut with the Yankees. He was one of the Yankees' power main hitters for some years with the Yankees. 2017 was one of his best seasons. He at one point was the Baltimore Orioles Oriole killer, where he every time he went up against the Orioles, he just hit home runs. There's a YouTube video that Gary Thorne of the Baltimore Orioles podcast always you can hear his anguish every time Gleyber Torres hit a home run. He was just so frustrated. It's one of the funniest videos I've seen. Torres kind of had a downslide over the last 2 years or so with the Yankees. Like he was on his way out. Yankees didn't pick up his option, so he went and signed with Detroit. And he's actually had a resurgence with the Tigers, which is good to see. Glad to see players, still be able to show that they still got something left in the tank. Torres is relatively still young at 28 years old, so good for him. Former Yankee. I hated to see him leave, but glad to see that he bounced back on his feet with the Detroit Tigers, who are in first place, even though they've been faltering coming out of the All-Star break right now.
Okay, all right. Listen, shout out to Torres. I'm not even gonna try and say his first name. I'm gonna get it wrong because I'm immature. And yeah, shout out to Torres, man. Keep doing what you're doing, yo. But I know growing up, life was rough, bro. I know life was rough for you. You had to have thick skin. I see you locked in and just play baseball. Now you're laughing at everybody who made fun of your name. I respect that. Now, right now, we're coming up to the part where Nate lets us know the upcoming games that we need to look out for, things that's going on. Trust me, take his word for it because he's going to tell you all the games that's coming out, and then he's going to tell you that specific one that you need to check out. Give me one moment while I share the screen.
So while Jay does that, we're going to say upcoming games for this weekend. We're going to start with some of the notable games this week that have already started off. Again, like I said, the Philadelphia Phillies and the New York Yankees, 2 powerhouses, a rematch of the 2009 World. Philadelphia took tonight's game over the Yankees. You also had other games that you look out for: the Los Angeles Dodgers and the Boston Red Sox. Dodgers winning game 1 of today's series. Also, the Toronto Blue Jays and the Detroit Tigers. Toronto being one of the hotter teams going into the All-Star break and coming right out and still playing strong, battling the Yankees for first place in the division as they currently have a 5.5 game lead over the New York Yankees, with Toronto being 62-42 and the Yankees trailing 56-47 right now. So that's a good game. Those are some good games this weekend, I think, to check out. Check out all the games, but these are 3 games that I think for this weekend. And then for next week, beginning, we have some games. The Chicago Cubs, division rival, Chicago Cubs and the Milwaukee Brewers will battle it out. Of course, we have the phenomenon in Chicago, Pete Crow Armstrong, along with Seiyu Suzuki. Then in Milwaukee, of course, you have Christian Yelich, who's been a long stay with the Milwaukee Brewers. Jackson Churio, Freddie Peralta. Currently, right now, Milwaukee has a 1-game lead over the Chicago Cubs in the standings in the division. Milwaukee was playing the Miami Marlins this weekend. Meanwhile, the Chicago Cubs are playing, and I had them up, so excuse me for that. Real quick, I'm just gonna they're playing their crosstown rival Chicago White Sox this weekend. Also, the New York Mets and the San Diego Padres. While I wanted to choose this series against the Giants, it's something that series against the Padres I think is going to be a little bit more exciting. Another NL West opponent after they finish off with the Giants. They'll travel down the road to Southern California. Because both teams have really great young players. Of course, the Mets with Brandon Nimmo, Francisco Lindor, Juan Soto, Jeff McNeil. And then you got over there on the San Diego side, you got Xander Bogaerts, you got Fernando Tatis, Manny Machado. I think that Jake Cronenworth. I think that's just going to be a really exciting series coming up. And last, we also have division rivals, the Seattle Mariners and the Athletics. While the Athletics may not be have faltered a little bit going down in last place, those division rivals, they always play well. You have great players such as you have the young stars like Lawrence Butler and Denzel Clark for the Athletics out there, and Tyler Sostrome. And then for the Seattle Mariners, who I talked about earlier, they're battling with this Houston Astros as they're 4.5 games out of first place right now from the Houston Astros. So those are some games I think to look forward to this week. Just a few games I think you could check out if you want to check out a game this week coming up. This week coming up.
Now, Nate, I always ask if you could pick one game that people should pay attention to. Which game do you think that is?
I'll go with. I think. I'll check out LA and Boston. I think that's going to be a really exciting series. Actually, no. Yeah. No, actually, no. We're going to say I'm going to go with Detroit and Toronto.
Detroit
yeah.
Why Detroit and Toronto?
Well, one with Toronto being where most people didn't. I didn't think a lot of people didn't really have Toronto going on that surge that they did, and nobody had Toronto right now being in first place. People had Toronto predicted because earlier in the season, Toronto was predicted to be a team that possibly would be blowing up the team, with Guerrero and Bichette and Springer, because they felt like maybe they hit that ceiling and they weren't going to go any further. But Toronto has really impressed right now going into starting the second half of the season. The Yankees, of course, was a team coming off their trip to the World Series, thinking that they would be one of the top teams. But Toronto has really stood packed right now, and whether they hold it out for the long haul, we'll see. Of course, Detroit, where they were at last year, almost near the bottom of the Central Division last year, and then they went on that hot run starting in August, and then they ended up going to the playoffs, and they made a great run through the playoffs. And for them to take over the division and win that division last year, and now so far this year, they've been at the top of the division since the beginning of the season. Unfortunately, they have lost 5 straight coming out of coming through since the All-Star break and coming into this second half of the season. They're still 7.5 games up on Cleveland because they played so well at the beginning of the season. They still have a small cushion right now, 7.5 up on Cleveland, 9 games up on Kansas City and Minnesota. So Tariq Skubal is one of the top elite pitchers in the league right now. So that's going to be, I think that's a great young exciting series. I like while I could be biased and pick my Yankees or pick LA and Boston, I like to also showcase the younger teams who have great young talent and teams that people should look out for as well.
Listen, you better than me because I'm just going to say the Mets.
Of course you would.
This is why, what I'm saying, you are Nate the Great. This is why, you better than me, because I'm just gonna sit there and be like, yeah, you need to watch the Mets, yo. If you're not watching the Mets, what are you watching? What are you paying attention to?
Also, we got coming up. I'll wait for you to pop it up. The women's softball league, the AUSL. They got some games coming up this weekend. That's as you can see, check out those games. We had the game starting Saturday and Sunday and Monday. They have those games. I ain't gonna lie, I can't even see who's playing who right now, and I don't have it up on my screen.
The Bandits versus the Talons.
Yeah,
Tuscaloosa, Alabama, 2 p.m. sharp.
Right, and I apologize for that because it is the AUSL's championship week. So this is the championship series that is going on this weekend. So tune in, check out the game. You know, the AUSL, I think it's been a great inaugural season for them, especially with their partnership with I say inaugural with their partnership with Major League Baseball that started. So this has been a success so far, and I think they're just going to grow even more as it goes on during the summer. Of course, baseball, this is the perfect time for them to play during the summertime along with baseball. You know, as I said, go check out the game if you don't live in that area, in the Alabama area, or even in the North Carolina area where they have games at. Go ahead and tune into your local channels and watch it and check out the game.
Listen, support, man. Support them young ladies out there doing what they do, man. Take your daughters out to the game, man. Take your sons out to the game. Take the family out to the game, man. If you love baseball, you should love it. You should love it being played on any platform, yo. All right.
And if you're worried about price wise, it'd be easier in your pockets than it will go into some of these major league games.
Hey, talk about it. Talk about it, yo. But this is again one of my favorite segments. I ain't even gonna lie. Out of all the segments here, this is probably my favorite one because it helps I get to learn random information that I could potentially use later on somewhere else to make me sound intelligent. So if you don't know what I'm talking about right now, this is the tutorial portion of the program where Nate finds videos for us to help, any upcoming players out there that just want to get better. There are a few tutorials that you'll be able to find on YouTube that Nate researches. So therefore, you could develop a fundamental sound-based skill set in the game that you love so much. So give me one moment while I share the video.
Sure. And so we got a special this week. We got a 2-for-1.
We're gonna go
right. So the first video you should see is from Candace Cameron. It's from Colorado Fast Pitching Academy, and this is for women's fast pitch softball, and they're going to show you techniques as to be a better pitcher.
With Colorado Fast Pitch Academy. Today, I will be discussing what I call my basic 5 steps. These 5 steps are specifically designed for a beginner pitcher. They will help her to get started with proper technique. Before beginning the 5 steps, you want to make sure you have the right grip. The grip that we will start a pitcher off with for her fastball is called a 4-seam grip. You will look for the shape of a C on the ball, place your 4 fingers on the top with your thumb on the opposing side. It's also important to make sure that the pitcher stands in the correct place on the mound. Right-handed pitchers should start with their right foot at the front of the mound and their left foot at the back. I recommend the feet be shoulder width apart and that the heel of the right foot be on the front and the toe of the left foot be on the back. If your pitcher is left-handed, simply have her reverse, cause all the weight to go into the front foot. Then have your pitcher shift her weight back by lifting her front toe. During this time, both hands will come together. The hands are required to come together once before the release of the ball. Step 3, have your pitcher place her front toe down, bring the glove to her right leg if she's right-handed, left leg if she's left-handed, and have her pitching.
All right, y'all can't get no more. Y'all can't get no more heat, son. No more heat.
So that's from Candace Cameron, Colorado Fast Pitch Academy, and that's actually from Colorado Fast Pitch Academies, where you can go on there and check out the website. It's actually a combination of Tara Cameron and Candace Einspar. And Candace Einspar, been giving softball lessons for over 14 years, and they have over 20 years of personal pitching and playing experience, while Terrell Cameron has been coaching softball for over 7 years, has over 20 years of playing and coaching themselves. You can go on there and check them out. They have where you can set up a lesson with either party. They also have iCloud where you can reach out and contact them. And also you can check out by their email. So for those who are trying to get their children, mainly for girls, fast pitches for the girl women, you want to get them out there, get some lessons, especially if you live in the Colorado area, or maybe something you can learn over online. I go ahead and go check the website and then check the video out and watch it, and go over it with your children. Let them maybe learn a few pointers for those who are going to be pitching.
All right. Now we got, like Nate said, we had a 2-for-1, aka a twofer. Here goes the second video.
And this one is from Ultimate Baseball Training for men's baseball for pitching, which is by Coach Justin. They have a special guest of Coach Zach on there for on techniques on being a better pitcher.
Training. Welcome back to another video. And in today's video, I have something really special for you. I work like a pro. He's going to break down every single component to pitching mechanics. So without further ado, I want to introduce you to Coach Zach. Let's jump right into it.
Side of pitching, breaking down every single component there is to it. Let's get into it.
If you've got hitters that you're looking to improve before the start of next season, this is essential for you. Matt Antonelli here.
First thing we're going to do is talk about our stance, where we set up on the mound when we go to pitch. You can be on the first base side or the third base side. You really have to tell by your pitches, what's going to be more effective, more deceptive for your pitches. So if you're a big slider guy and a big cutter guy, you want to be on the third base side just to make your pitches look a little more deceptive. I'm a big sinker and changeup guy, so I'm going to get on the first base side to utilize my movement to a right-handed batter. The first step that we're going to talk about today is just the basic rocker step. Wherever you want to go, you can go back or you can go side. So whatever feels comfortable for you and can make you be more effective with your leg lift, that's what you need to be doing. So for me, I always go back. If you have a problem with your balance point on your leg lift, you can go more side, because what we don't want is for you to be going back and having too much momentum and not being able to control that. And you hear the term often, swinging the gate. And that's what that's what that leads to. So we go back and we don't have enough balance to really control our, be in a controlled position. You never want to truly stop, because that's gonna erase all the momentum we just gained from our rocker and our pivot step. So with this, we want to be in a controlled position so we really have a chance to utilize that back leg and go down the hill. So now that we have our leg lift down and we got utilizing that lead hip and pushing down the hill and using that back leg to really get out there in your stride. So what I like to do for me,
can't give him too much heat, Nate. Can't give him too much, because I be getting caught up in the video myself looking at him. You know what I mean? Shoot, I be forgetting we be doing a podcast sometimes. But nah, that's those are some two great videos right there to help you, become a better pitcher, a better overall player. Just develop your skill set and just become nice, yo. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, that is the bittersweet end of our wonderful podcast and program for you tonight. We truly hope that you enjoyed the segments. I hope that you realized I became a better person, a better man. You didn't hear any Yankee slander out my mouth tonight. So I think that is a win for us, yo. I think that is a win. Nate, do you have anything to say to the people before we skedaddle and get up out of here, yo?
Just for all prospect players, whether you're in the minor leagues, little league, high school, just keep working hard at work craft. You'll get there. Don't listen to the naysayers. Just continue working hard.
Hey man, just put in the hard work, yo. You see the results. I just want to say Yankees. Hopefully by next week, we'll have a better report. I got faith in you guys. Let's get it done. Let's get it done. Mets, keep being the Mets. You guys are amazing. To everybody who tapped in, tuned in, we greatly appreciate you. And if you're listening to the sound of the words of my voice, please tap in and tune in tomorrow, yo, at the same time, about 10:30 Eastern Standard Time. You know what I'm saying? You get to see the whole crew. We laugh, crack jokes, and we do what we do, yo. But again, thank you once again, and we will see you guys next week, same time, same bat channel, and we do it once again, yo. Peace.
Peace.